Okay, I walked over to another covered bridge that's near my family's house, and this is one that isn't used anymore. They did the road beside it so that the bridge is still here, you can still see it, but they put a road in beside it and it's not used by traffic. This one's not being maintained, it's not painted, so we'll go take a closer look and see if I can even walk into it. I'm not sure. It's a shame that it's looking like it's in pretty bad disrepair, but that's one of the reasons too why they put the road in beside it and then in the new bridge, because it couldn't be saved. Oh yeah, it doesn't look too bad here. But this is the, I don't know how to say the name of that. I'm even from here. Goshendorfer, I think, is the name of this bridge. So, but yeah, it's pretty old. It feels solid. So, I'll give you a look at a covered bridge inside. But yeah, this bridge needs a little help. But this is a different stream that it's on. So in this area, there's lots of water that comes from the mountains and natural springs that feed these rivers. So not a fast flowing stream, but it's kind of pretty. But yeah, this bridge is needing a lot of work. But it's still here and it's part of history. It's what they used to use to get the horses to cross the water. The horses, if they could see the water, they didn't want to pull the carts and the buggies across the bridges. So it made them feel comfortable coming into a building to cross over the water. So that's why they made covered bridges. History lesson for the day. I love my life. Come join me. Comes a farmer. You see lots of tractors around here running down the roads, so this is very normal. And now I'm on the dairy farm I grew up on, and the new owners, I'm sorry, what's your name?
I'm Jason.
Jason, he's one of the sons of the people that bought the farm from my family, and he's feeding the baby calves. So they're so cute. This one already ate. It has milk all over his face. This one here is very curious as to what's going on. So they like to drink out of the bottle, but they're trying to teach them to drink from the bucket. So it makes life faster when it goes through the bucket. But they have different pens that they move the calves to as they get older. And then they cycle them in to the milking cycle or sell them off for beef cattle. So there's some more babies on that side. What you do? Come here, my fingers? I used to do this all the time when I was a kid. Let the calves suck on your fingers.
Yep, that's what all the kids like to do.
Yeah. He's like, there's no milk there. This isn't funny. I didn't get any milk. I didn't get any milk. No. You know what you doing, huh? Huh? What you doing? Oh, you like my fingernails. Does that feel good?
I don't know. I don't think it's happening tonight anymore, so maybe tomorrow.
Alright, Dad and I are going for a ride on the Scout. What's up, Dad? Alright, here's a good look at my little brother's treehouse. He climbs up there just to go hunting.
He built that house his own.
At home, and then brought it up here and put it in place?
Brought it up in pieces.
Oh, alright. walking through the woods because we came to a tree across the path. But this is a turkey scratch, where the turkeys scratch the grass off of the ground so they can get to the worms and stuff and grubs in the ground. But we're walking out to the old Hoffman place, which is where my mom and dad started farming when they first got married, until my dad was able to then buy the farm off of his father. When his father passed away, he bought the farm. He bought his two brothers out of the other farm, so I got to grow up on the farm that my dad grew up on when he was a kid.
Right about there, hon.
Huh?
You can't see the house from the leaves.
Oh, the house is down in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a trail.
Mm-hmm.
Goes down.
Yeah. We're not going to go down there today.
No.
Yeah. I could, but I don't need to push you.
I'm not walking down.
With all the hills I hike, I could do that no problem. But my dad's 84 in December. 84?
Yep.
84 in December, and he's still out here in the woods hiking around with me, so that's pretty darn good. But here's one of the many examples of the springs in the mountain that feed the streams that the covered bridge is on. So they've got a path here and it comes out underneath. Dad's turning the Scout around. He loves his toys. He's got this, he's got an ATV. We used to have snowmobiles growing up, but we don't get the snow we used to, so we don't have those anymore. He keeps stalling it though. I'm not so sure about his driving abilities. Alright, time to hitch my ride. You can see the fall colors coming out a little bit more than they were the other day when I walked up here. We zoom into the mountain. But yeah. I'm not here at the peak season, but the colors are a little better. The zoom on this camera is amazing. Okay, we came up to the top of the ridge and it's a beautiful clear day today, so you can really see where I grew up. I'll give you a little view. The only bad thing is the power lines right here, but you can just see the valley. I used to come up to the ridge here on my horses and pick raspberries, because wild raspberries grow all along here on the left hand side. But let me zoom in. I love the zoom on this camera. Look at that. And you can just see all the farms out across the valley. It's almost zoomed in too close. Zoom it out a little bit. But yeah. Not much has changed since I grew up. There's more houses. Like, you know, farmers have sold off a little plot of land here and there and people have built houses, but it's pretty much the same, except now they have bigger equipment, which is really cool. I used to ride my horses on this road all the time up through the woods here.
There's some deer.
Tonight, that's pretty.
I see them sticking the buttons here. They're there. Look like 3 points on the left side. See them? They're above these ears of peak.
Maybe. It looks pretty big. The moon is bright tonight. There's some more.
There's 3 in there.
There's 4 in there.
Go to your left or right a little bit. Right there they are.
Yeah. there, that indicates the state game land. So our property backs up and touches the state game land.
It's 500 feet across.
Yeah. You can see where this tree has been rubbed on. That's called a buck rub. The buck, when their horns come out in the spring, they're covered in like a velvet. And as they grow and mature, the velvet starts to dry and it gets itchy. So they rub up against the trees to rub the velvet off. So that's what a buck rub is. So when you see those, you know there's a buck in the area. We're looking for deer. No deer, but I think I see Bigfoot. Yeah, there's Bigfoot. I saw him running. You didn't see him? No Bigfoot here. Dad's all looking worried like we got Bigfoot.
Oh, I didn't know you seen one or not.
Bigfoot. The mysterious Bigfoot. You know all about Bigfoot. Yep. And good afternoon from Discover Real Estate. Another different view. We're not selling property in Nicaragua right now. I'm in Pennsylvania visiting my family. And I just wanted to show you a little bit about where I grew up. So the other day I did a video from on top of the hill over here, looking back where you can actually see the tree stand I'm sitting in right now. The zoom on my new camera is freaking amazing. Love this zoom. So that's the Zahn's property. They have horses. That's a big riding ring right there in that big barn. And there's the cemetery where I did a video where my brother was buried in February of 2020. That was my last trip back here before the pandemic and all hell broke loose and flights stopped and everything else. And that's the cemetery too that I used to mow as a kid. And when I'd bump into tombstones, I'd always say, sorry, didn't mean to disturb you. And the church, and then there's a little park along the waterfront beside the church, and that's that used to be the Crohn's farm, but it's been sold now. I'm not sure who owns it, but yeah, our property goes way up there to the top of, sorry, I'm on a ladder to the top of that green field. But now let me zoom back in and you can see just how far I zoomed out. I'm trying to get it back here, hold on. Yeah, check out that zoom, it's amazing. Yeah, this is what I crawled up. And I got up to just below the trap door, but it's padlocked, so I can't get up in it.